crossing the desert in literal trampoline shoes.
This is actually insane.
No food, no water, just pure adventure. Hey guys, I'm gonna be bouncing across this entire valley of death on these trampoline shoes all by myself. Why?
When I was a kid, I was fascinated with doing things that involved my feet being off the ground. And even to this day, I pretty much go out of my way to do everything I can besides walk.
This is gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna pull ourselves out of the lowest point. That's the lowest point, right there. Lowest point in America. We got a long journey ahead of us.
Because I, like many others in this world, am at my lowest physical and mental point. And by taking this journey across the desert, I hope to prove a point. A point that with a little push, we can get out of the lowest point. You get the point?
Also, this salt, it just kind of looks like it tastes good. Let's get this started. We are cooking. And speaking of cooking, you're probably asking yourself, Tucker, is Death Valley not also the hottest place on Earth? Yeah, it is. It is, or so I thought. It's seasonally the hottest place on Earth, and it gets pretty cold at night.
Cold was an understatement. It was going to be just above freezing in the night, which is something I absolutely did not plan for.
The goal of this video is pretty simple. To just get myself out of the lowest point, which is essentially crossing all of Death Valley on these trampoline shoes. And if I did my math correctly, that's actually going to be beating my current world record on these trampoline shoes, where I crossed Iceland last year about 40-something miles. The challenges of this route along the way are exponentially more difficult. Starting with the salt flats, desert, rock formations, sand dunes, and more. I have a lot to cross on this journey, all while battling heat and occasional traffic. I packed water in my backpack, a blanket that's certainly not going to be thick enough. It's just all I could take with me. There's that blanket I was talking about, and you're probably asking yourself, Tucker, is that gonna keep you warm enough? But I can already tell, you can literally, I can see you guys through the blanket. Water, lens, and another water bottle. There's 2 water bottles and just my camera equipment. And this blanket. I should really think about getting a bigger backpack, but at least this time I brought water. There's a lot of stuff on the checklist that needs to happen for me to be able to succeed, AKA live.
At this point, there's a lot going on in my head about how this trip was gonna turn out. So many challenges ahead, but I was feeling like I could conquer the world. And with the lowest point behind me, all that was in my way was my terrible stamina. I'm so underprepared for this, it's not
that fun.
Anyways, mile 5, I saw this rock and decided to test the agility of my trampoline shoes. Everything checked out.
Oh my God.
Totally sick. Actually, you know what? Run that back, get a replay, plus 10 style points. Sick as fuck. And mile 6, the thought of my first real challenge was hot on my mind.
The sun's going down, which means finding an adequate place to sleep overnight.
Finding a place to sleep wasn't gonna be easy. After all, this is the middle of the desert in the middle of absolute nowhere that we're talking about.
What is good news though, is I know that within miles of where I started, there is canyons. I don't know if you can hear the wind. You'll know that basic survival needs means stay out of the wind. That'll help keep warm, especially with a thin blanket that has holes in it.
Back on Earth, I thought it'd be cool to get a shot of me kicking up some dust while I jumped. Turns out it wasn't.
This is beautiful. And I'm actually getting to appreciate, I mean, look at this. What is that? Why does that look that way? Fuck science. Suck on that, chat GDP. You can't fucking make that, can ya? Honestly, maybe it can. It's just a matter of years, please. If anyone's listening, stop AI. We have a chance now. Stop!
Right, nothing happened there. Okay, back to the video, finding a place to sleep.
I'm finding this like little slot canyon here. Not really sure what it is, but I am up high, far away from the lowest point in America. But you know we gotta keep going.
Several miles of bouncing later, I'd worked my way up to some serious elevation, and you know what? In my head, I thought these shots of me jumping would look a lot cooler.
There's no way that looks.
Either way, I was making my way through this canyon, and it was looking like this was where I was gonna find a place to sleep.
This is definitely Vibe City. This is sick. I look like I'm in a different world. This feels very dangerous to sleep underneath. A bunch of loose, muddy rock. A bat! There's a bat there! And if I sleep here with the bats, there's at least a 67% chance I turn into Batman. You can't dispute those numbers, and you also can't fact check them. Maybe I'll go down a little bit back to where I came from, where it widens up a bit in case one of these things just decides to fall in the middle of the night. I'm not gonna be underneath it. Smart choices. Time to find a place to sleep. This feels better. Still in this beautiful wind-free canyon, but it's on the ground, you know? And this feels soft enough How many times have I slept on the ground outside? It's hard to keep count at this point, but you know, ain't no thing. Oh, it's just rocks. Time to let these dogs breathe.
You guys can probably see really well right now. It's because my camera is just so good with the low lights. So look at, this is about what it looks like for me. Something like this, probably, or maybe this. I can get you guys all the way up here. Yeah, so we can hang out for a little while. This really isn't that bad. You know, check in with me in about an hour. It's so much colder. I can never really fully complain in these situations because I'm the one who put myself here, you know? Let me just remind you really quickly how thin this blanket actually is. If you can see what time it is right now through the blanket, my point will have been proven. Not good. I can't wait to get, there's a bat, holy. I feel like I'm sleeping on a bed of nails that is also on ice. Can you see what time it is? Oh. If you can't, just look through my blanket. It's 3 a.m. After easily the worst night of sleep of my life, I was feeling like a hot pocket. Looking hot and smoking on the outside, but actually so cold last night. And at some point, I made an executive decision to put the dogs back in their cage. My feet got so cold, and this blanket is also comically small. Like, it definitely doesn't quite fit me. My body feels like a sack of rocks. It's like 6:50 a.m.
That's beautiful. A nice little sunrise. Mile 20, the sun had made its way up, and hold on. Look at how cool this is. Look at the shadow is lined up perfectly with the timeline curve. This is so cool. Yeah, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Anyways, the landscape around me was insane, and as I was bouncing my way through day 2, I began to realize that I was approaching my biggest challenge, the sand dunes. We are a long way from where we started. I kind of feel like I'm back where I started though, because again, I'm crossing a flat of just endless salt. The landscape here is insane. There's so many different environments and types of things to see. It's a really beautiful place. It's very exciting. I'm glad I'm doing this. I see the sand dunes right there in the distance, and that's the next stop. It's almost like it's the final boss. I'm in so much fucking pain! My mind was starting to melt a bit with no water and peak exhaustion. My body started doing things I just couldn't control. I'll never do that again, I promise. Do you guys also want to see how I get these shots? I find something that looks moderately interesting, but that's all really far away, so I need my big lens. That's like 50 fucking pounds, and that's in my backpack the whole time alongside all my other camera gear. That's another reason, especially why you guys are just gonna destroy the like button on this video. Just a quick little reminder, also subscribe if you haven't already. So I'm gonna toss this on. Toss that in the old POC. POC, of course, short for pocket. Then we're gonna toss this big boy on. I need a big boy! And then I pretty much have to run like way down there. So I really end up going quite a bit farther than I actually would be if I was not recording anything. Holy sh! It's the sand dunes. You can see them in the distance. Wow. The logistics that are gonna go into crossing that on trampoline shoes are just, I don't even really want to think about it.
Not to mention my water was essentially gone, which didn't leave me feeling super excited about the idea of crossing more desert, because you know, it's a desert.
I'm crossing the desert in literal trampoline shoes. I can't even begin to describe to you how ineffective this is. The oh, never mind. We're good. Oh, wow. I spoke too soon. Way easier in trampoline shoes. Check this out. I'm so exhausted. Didn't pack any water for today because I just finished it yesterday. Also no food. So excuse me if my energy is quite low. But anyways, I have to make it pretty much across all these sand dunes to those mountains up there. Sounds easy enough, right? It's not.
Here's another shot of me doing exactly what I promised I'd never do again, and to be honest, the dehydration was getting to me at this point and I completely forgot. I'm sorry again, and I'm making a new promise now.
We're so close to the end. I can feel it in my stomach. I really feel like almost like passing out. There's no way that this is safe. Actually, I know it's not safe. There's plenty of signs all around saying don't go in with less than a gallon of water. I do see something though. Is that me passing Tucker Budson, the only other Tucker with more subscribers than me on the internet? It was by you absolutely helping me by smashing the subscribe button and like button all at the same time. See, the energy that I had there, it's just moderate. It's all I can give.
37 miles in and I was at the point of total collapse. My body was feeling completely deprived of all nutrients, and the only thing that was keeping me going was the thought of getting out of this place. That and passing Tucker Budson and YouTube subscribers. Thank you very much.
All jokes aside, this is really, really bad. I don't have any water at all, and I am not feeling good. but there's a little convenience store about a mile from here. Just on the other end of that, up the mountain, is where I'm ending this bad boy. Oh, I need the water. You know that you're really thirsty when you swallow your spit and it tastes good.
Hold up.
My feet just feel like they're bleeding from the inside.
I was right at the end of my journey out of the lowest point, and having traveled over 44 miles through 2 days of absolute trampoline shoe torture, I had even surpassed my previous record distance in Iceland on these same trampoline shoes not that long ago.
You are good to go.
I'm gonna drink all of this right now.
Oh, I bet you will.
We did it. This is about to be the best day of my life. This is the best reward I could ever ask for. Okay. Cheers to you guys. Good job. You know, you guys made it. You made it all the way through. You made it with me. That was wildly more difficult than I thought it was gonna be on paper, but I'm glad you guys were with me to witness it. Tune in next week because I'm gonna be honest with you, the video that we're doing next week it's the craziest one we've ever done. I'm not underselling that. It's gonna be wild. Love you guys. Make sure to like the video. Peace.